The roadmap that we all have been waiting for is finally released. The flight schedule of Starship for the next 4 years is revealed by SpaceX, which certainly has some exciting news for the people who wish to explore space. On the other hand, NASA is pretty sure that they can expect a Starship space station even before the ISS is decommissioned. Sounds dreamy, doesn't it? Welcome to Planet, and this is your top stop for the latest news regarding space exploration. Want to know the updates regarding the most powerful rocket in the history of mankind? Well, buckle up as I share with you the fascinating roadmap of 2024 to 2028. Before we jump into the updates of Ship 25 and Booster 9, it's worth mentioning that it has become the tallest rocket that has ever been assembled. Once the rocket was erected last year, a quick retraction test was carried out to check its durability. However, as we all are waiting for the Starship to finally go out into space, the FAA has put TFR, or you can say Temporary Flight Restriction Notice, on the starbase. To further break it down, it's more like a do not enter sign in the sky. And there are several reasons behind this notice, such as excessive military operations, air shows, and obviously, the air traffic. But in the coming months, when the security is ensured, there might be a green signal for the Starship. So, if you are planning to book your ticket for the ride, you need to do it as soon as possible. As the prototypes launched into space won't be coming back home, there are high chances that the third orbital pair would be Ship 26 along with Booster 10. The good part is that both of these are almost ready for the show. Ship 26 still needs to run a fire test in order to check its readiness. On the other hand, Booster 10 is getting its engine attached at the Mega Bay. Not only this, Ship 28 is also planned to team up with Booster 11 as they are on the brink of stealing the spotlight as well. Want to know what's special about Ship 29 and Ship 30? They are distinctive in nature due to their ability to carry Starlink satellites, which would help to eliminate some of the main drawbacks faced by SpaceX in the past. If you think all this is very far from becoming reality, you might be wrong here. By the third quarter of 2024, all of what we are expecting right now will become history. The grand debut of a Starship is scheduled with cargo on board by the early part of 2024, which we are currently in. Following that, SpaceX is also planning to work on Starship recovery by the third quarter of this year. So, what exactly is meant by recovering the Starship? Well, we are talking about snagging the upper stage from the sky using the arms of a Mechazilla. Looks fascinating, doesn't it? This was the plan for 2024, but what about 2025? Next year, the crew of SpaceX will be working on laying out a sketch for the on-orbit fuel storage version of the Starship. You can consider these as full-time fuel depots which will be hanging in space for years. But brace yourself for the most exciting news that comes along with these fuel depot plans. The tanker Starship plan would actually open new gateways for manned missions to Mars and the rest of space. This whole project is enough to justify the roadmap SpaceX is trying to lay out for the year 2025. Achieving this target would certainly be a huge victory for the company. In 2026, the first thing SpaceX is planning to do is to use Starships for the in-orbit satellite tune-ups. For instance, giving the Hubble Space Telescope refurbishment, or even trying to ferry satellites back to Earth. If you think such operations haven't happened in the past, you might be wrong. Such an operation was carried out by STS-51A mission, where 2 satellites were retrieved from orbit. It's sci-fi, isn't it? But it's actually very real, and will happen very soon, as SpaceX is giving its day and night to these projects. But we know that you all are waiting for that one special piece of news. But for that, we need to fast forward to 3 years from now. Launching people into space via Starship is surely a plan on the table, but it needs several approvals. When it comes to low Earth orbit adventures, thousands of people around the world are excited to experience alluring scenes. But this is a big target to achieve for SpaceX. Missions like Dear Moon or Polaris Dawn will have a ride on a Crew Dragon to orbit, which will, later, hop over to Starship in the coming years after that. However, it all depends on how the Starship proves itself to be reliable enough to carry people on board, and the next few years are crucial. Any slight mistake would tear apart the credibility that SpaceX has built in the past. By 2028, the final blueprint of a full-fledged low-Earth orbit Starship station would be made, and this would be built out of habitation modules. Even though 2028 seems very far right now, the burden of these plans requires more time than what's planned. Who would have thought of replacing the International Space Station with the Starship space station? Seems like a dream, doesn't it? The Super Heavy snatch planned in 2024, fueling in 2025, satellite upgrades in the year 2026, and the most important of them all, crew landings in 2027, and the space station replacement by SpaceX in 2028. What do you think about this roadmap? It's going to change the world. Such a manifestation is going to truly revolutionize the way we think about space. But these missions are actually way closer than we think. This was the SpaceX Starship roadmap for 2024 to 2028. This all might seem like a part of some movie, but it will actually become a reality. Not because the plan's very solid, but because it's actually very doable. Want to know more about the upcoming space programs and what's changing in our space? Subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to share your valuable feedback in the comments section. Don't forget to check out the latest videos on the channels, as we expect to have more interesting content coming your way. Thanks for watching. Take care.